All right, Shalom. Shalom, Shalom. Shalom, Shalom. Okay, come on. Call on now. How old are you? How shy? Well, how we're talking that stuff. Honestly, though, be like the apostles said. Say, Lord willing, start with those at the GMS church, onward to the rest that may be out here to, under this doctrine, onward to the men here at this congregation. Giving diligence and all true faith and sincerity. Uh, and to the rest of the Akim teaching also in all true faith and sincerity for the elder brothers, the elder Akim, go down to the younger Akim, Shalom, to all you believers. And on this faith of Yahweh Shah, Shah, you men, women, and children. Shalom as well. Ultimately to the elect, those that's going on and about to go on to be found to have in the house of David. So, present, serious, and truthful examination to understand the judgment you're possibly about to face. Present, serious, meaning current time, as far as present, or beforehand, like before the judgment comes. Present in that way. Present, serious, and truthful examinations to understand the judgment you're possibly about to face. And that could be a good one or a bad one. A bad one or a good one. Okay. And you want to be in the time you want to beforehand that judgment come. You want to really be in serious and truthful examination of yourself, your deeds, you know, what you have and haven't been doing, you know, because everybody has a judgment, written for them. It's a continuous thing we face. It's a continuous concept we go through. You're literally down here living out your judgment. First off, you go into Hebrews, the ninth chapter tells you that. After that, then after death, then the judgment. When you so-called die, you go back to the spirit world. You get ready. You receive your judgment uh, based upon how you live that life you just departed from, and you're pretty much being processed to come back, and you're gonna live out the judgment pretty much of basically your situation. You're gonna be given a situation for your new life, which is gonna be is basically your judgment. The judgment given to you based on how you live your last life, and that's pretty much what we all here down here facing doing. So you got a slew of events, like I said, a situation and detail, meaning a slew of events that's arranged, from good and bad. You know, ultimately, for most people, the day they gonna die. Now, ultimately, elect, you got some people that's living out of judgment where they literally not gonna taste death. You know what I'm saying? They're not even gonna die. They're gonna make it out because I believe that the end is gonna come during this generation. So, you know, that's that. But you got most people facing basically they have also a death date arranged for them, besides other events from good and bad, right? The day you find some money, the day you know, get a woman, the day you become a whore, the day you get married, the day you have a child, the day you get a job, the day you get hit by a car, you know, the day you get into it with these Edomites, the day you get into your first fight, you lose your teeth, you know, uh, when you go through the development stage, becoming a young adult, all that. But to pretty much that's how it all works. But that's what we all down here facing and doing. So you continuously facing judgment. That's the whole point. Okay. Hebrews 9, just to cap that off since I went that far. This is Hebrews 9 and 27. It says, and as it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment. See? And then I'm gonna read it in the NLT. And just as each person is destined to die once after that, once and after that comes judgment. So there it is. And that judgment goes into pretty much how I explained it to you. So you continuously down here living out of judgment. So Sirach 11, and I'm going to start at verse 26. It says, for it is an easy thing unto the Lord in the day of death, hence judgment, to reward a man according to his ways. So yeah, what does that mean? Pretty much you are completely on the clock, you know, for judgment. Like you at work on clock to get paid. You're constantly on down here. You're constantly on the clock. Literally, you never clock out. You know, you really never clock out to get judged, and that's for judgment. That's why you on the clock. Like you go to work, you on the clock for payment or a check. Down here, you on the clock. You living your life for judgment. You know, to be rewarded for your time. Your activity during your time. You know, if you working hard, you expect to be paid. For it, paid well. You do overtime, you go super hard, right? You go super hard, you expect to be paid well for it. Well, that's judgment. That will translate to judgment. You know, the time you giving down here, hence your life, the time you spending here on earth is uh, uh, pretty much you can see that is being on that clock. And depending on what you're doing in that time, you if you in your you know what to look forward to. If you bullshit, to be looking possibly to get rolled up, fired, or something like that, or whatever it may be. You know, or if you're going hard, you using that time to make sense basically. But saying the less, it says, for it is an easy thing unto the Lord in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways. So when you got knowing you now on the clock 24/7, right? Your time, you basically uh being rewarded for being on clock, you know, or being disciplined for, being rewarded, and okay, boom, you paid, all right, boom. Depending on how you be you're moving during being on the clock, or you looking to be um disciplined, given a consequence, and the worst fire, you know. That's the same concept of being down here, man. So you can literally know when you on your so-called job, like to be expecting to write up, you're like, okay, I've been being late, I've been doing this, you know what I'm saying? Shit, I know they do the damn drops every damn, I'm smoking and shit. Not saying I go on the truth. I'm just saying like that's how it go in the world, right? Using that the example. So you already know, like you probably, man, I know the test. I'm probably gonna drop dirty, or I'm about to do this, you know, or I did this. I'm probably about to get fired, or I did this. I'm probably about to get fired. I did this, I did this on the job. I already know, you know, period. And then you already know, like, and that's another thing. Like you got people who come that's down here right now. Really, this is for us in the truth. But you got people that's in the truth and they just come to the realization like, yo, this ain't for me, like a job. Like, I can't do this no more. And they end up, you know, just walking away. And that's an event. Those are arranged events in the heavens. Those are certain judgments. Once you analyze and see, hence examine from all the way across the board of these things I just gave, you're able to see exactly what your outcome is about to be. You'll be able to understand when before someone just left, they pretty much more than likely examined and they seen, okay, I don't have the spirit for this, I'm out. And that was the judgment for that situation. They're no longer there, you know, so they can understand when they go on why they no longer there. And then you got people who get rewarded, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then, a lot of times when they get those rewards, those bonuses, that big up or whatever from the boss or something, uh, they understand it when it come because they was already examining before it came. You know, they was and what they was examining was how they were doing well, how they was on point, how they was going according to, you know, the guidelines, what they was performing, what it is to do well, you know, period. According to the job description and job duties, if I'm doing A through AYZ, A through Z, I am performing well, you know, of what's right that is. So it's like that in the truth. You know, if I'm doing AYZ through, you know, I'm performing well. So you just know a judgment gonna come eventually for that, and you're gonna be rewarded. So that's how you want to be thinking before these judgments come. When something the Lord, the boss, the Most High, how boss me on shot, give you a big up, you know, or a promotion or something like that. You know what I'm saying? That's why it says, right again, Sirach 11:29 or 26, it says, for it is an easy thing unto the Lord in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways. And you got rewards on the as far as being good or bad, you know. So you'll be able to understand when it comes. This is why you want to be doing this. You want to be examining before those, because they on the way, and they're gonna be according to what you're doing. The reward is on the way. The judgment is on the way. So the best thing to do to understand and not just be completely, you know, like it's what you want to be doing. Like it just make it easier on yourself, whether if it's good or bad. You know, you will understand based off what type of reward judgment you get, why you got it. So this is why I say the lesson is just, you know, these quick words is present, serious, and truthful examinations to understand the judgment you're possibly about to face. You know, so they ain't don't necessarily they don't also necessarily always mean bad. It says, for it is an easy thing unto the Lord in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways. The affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure, and in his deeds shall be discovered. See, basically how it all ends when you finally get that judgment. You know, when that paycheck, that pay period finally ends, and you get your check, you're gonna be able to see your, you know, the end of that pay period is supposed to show your deeds, meaning your deeds you did during that pay period, you know, upon the end of that pay period. And the results is gonna be seen in your check, you know. So if you ain't put in a lot of hours, expect shit, nothing on the check, you know, period. Because see, this ain't a job to where even though you can get chastised and then just like in the world on jobs, shit happen, you probably put in hours and then your check don't come, something like that. That'll be those type of instances you could necessarily have happen in the truth. Like, but it's not an error. It's like it's just that'll be like chastisement. But that's a whole nother thing. You see, so you could be doing good and some, you know, the Lord might still fake jack you up or something like that. You know, but that's why you got to know about chastising and understanding that. You know, maybe it's something that you didn't do right. Because really, when you get chastised, it is to correct you on something you slipping on. You're not necessarily tight on, and that'll be a lot of times the reasoning for why you won't get a check. Oh, it was something with the bank. Oh, I missed the number, or they put the wrong number. That's why diligence and being circumspect is cause for uh 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 is pushed to us. That's awakened to trying to obtain life in this truth now. You know, because you can't really do that without being like if you lacking on diligence and being circumspect, you know. But as I said, that's a whole nother thing. It says judge none blessed. See, judge none blessed before his death. For a man shall be known and his children. So there it is, man. Your offspring. So basically your fruit, what you bring forth. The fruit, declare if the tree have been dressed. You shall know a tree by its fruit. If it brings forth bad fruit, you getting bunch of bad judgments. That's just representing you bringing forth, basically you reaping what you sow. That's just representing you put in bad work, you know. So don't be. You need to understand these things because you about to face a judgment. You know, you're about to face a judgment. So don't be fucking the goddamn acting surprised like you don't you know what the fuck is going on, man. You know, like I said, if it's a good, been putting in work. You know, period. Or the Lord could be cutting you some slack. You know, but more than likely, that's how the Lord don't work. Like on some bugged out stuff, you get rewarded. You've been doing good. You know what I'm saying? And if you know you could do better, that's a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? But if you get judged on jacked up end and stuff, you already know, like, okay, I've been going the hell off. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot. Okay, so yeah, that's basically the point, man. You know, I got one more scripture. Um, this is Sirach in the 18th chapter. Okay, so it's a lot of people that's been bullshitting, and the Lord, He finna jack you up, man. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things we've been slipping on, not necessarily doing. You know what I'm saying? So you need to sit and examine yourself truthfully and seriously. Like, man, have I been doing this? You know, what's the good things I used to do that I ain't doing? You know what I'm saying? Am I hustling the Lord? What are you doing? You need to seriously, in present time, beforehand, now knowing judgments is they give it out all around the clock. As long as this business running, checks handed out, right? As long as that business, that place working, that employer is up and up running, it's checks going out. So it's all around the clock, and that's the same for this. As long as this truth going, judgments is gonna be being handed out, and the scriptures tell us how, or the epistles tell us how, judgment is gonna begin at the house of God, man. Okay, so you can think it's a fucking game if you want to. All right, don't look stupid like you didn't know, because like I said, is this what you have to sit and think about? Like, man, have I been, you know? And if you can say, okay, yeah, I'm off. Well, when that judgment come, you can understand it, and then hopefully, hey, this is it. Sirach 18 and 20. It says, before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy. Yeah, because you can, if you doing it before the judgment comes, you got a chance to change stuff and correct it. You can, like, man, I've been slacking. Let me try this. Like when you attempt at a certain place, you can miss as many days really as far as much as you can. It's on you if you get paid. They don't give a damn. They just use you. You know, and then you realize, okay, damn, my pay period about to come. Let me go to work a few days. You know what I'm saying? And that pretty much puts mercy on, you know, you getting a outright bogus ass check by you examining that. Okay, I might get a bogus check, and before the pay period, and then you go on and what you make the adjustment, and that's how you procure to yourself what mercy. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, if you seeing now that you seeing these things, because we all got things we got to work on. You know what I'm saying? But you better shit make the adjustment before that judgment comes, because when that judgment comes, you're gonna be able to completely understand, especially if you seriously in present time, aka beforehand, before that judgment comes, seriously and truthfully examining yourself, you're gonna understand your activity, what you've been doing on the clock. You know, you're gonna understand when you get a reward, when you get a promotion, when you get a praise, a blessing, if you will, on the right hand side, and then you're gonna understand if you get fucking fired, if you get disciplined. You know, if you just give up the ghost and leave yourself, you're gonna understand. Based upon what your examination. So that's it. Call Allah Yahweh Boss me out Shai Waha or Kakodash. The water said hopefully like elder apostles slave to be saved. And those that's, wholeheartedly in this, man. And ain't bullshit. All right. And I'll close out on this. It says, humble thyself, this the next verse, before thou be sick. You see, before thou be sick, and in the time of sins, shew repentance. See, there it is. So shalom.